then you see that the relationships that you're in are not literal relationships. They're artworks in their own right. They don't have permanency in that way. They're permanent and impermanent at the same time. They resemble an intelligent relationship with death. Life and death are interwoven. They separate. They come together. They miss that life and death. Death gives life its depth and meaning. The basis of continuity is fear of death. When you take up a journey, or you start from a journey in your life, then you see that death is not your enemy. There is a conversation inherently in your artwork, in your love affairs, in your existence. You understand Vedanta by your own perception, that there are parallel lives being lived, that the relationship exists and doesn't exist at the same time, that the person is living and dying simultaneously, that when you are born, death is also born with you, and that this is the real conversation that is going on. And it plays itself out in our literal life. So that's why these love affairs hurt. That's why someone we trusted who betrays that trust hurts us so deeply. It's designed that way. It brings you the hurt that comes when you lose a loved one, sends you close to a death experience. It comes close to the death experience because it's the ending of the ego, sense of itself. So the ego and the body will react. It will do everything in its power to continue. Anytime you come close to seeing that. So obviously we lived in the family looking the other way in order to maintain the family construct. But it was hidden in plain sight. Who was it hidden from? That our parents were people. So when we were dependent on it, we co-conspired with it to continue. But it's taking most of our life to work out that simple drama. But when we meet, I'm saying that we can honestly see. I'm not talking about correcting the picture. You understand that Buddha was helpless. That Buddha looking at the suffering, experienced deep sorrow. The world is avoiding sorrow and experience suffering. It's avoiding death and running towards a death experience, obviously. In trying to keep something permanent, it's running into its own dissolution. It is built that way. Life and death are interactive. When the person perceives that deeply, and that I feel is why people take up a yogic path or a path. It's not that the path will succeed, although the paths usually give you a period of time where it kind of saves you or cares for you. But if you continue with the path as an avoidance, then it's the failure of the path or the falling away of the path, which is also another feeling of a death experience. The failure of the path is the basis of seeing. Seeing is not a voluntary act. Generally, seeing comes at the expense. As I mentioned, you walk in and you see that your wife is sleeping with the UPS man. You see something that you didn't want to see, that you were avoiding. So inherently, the seeing factor comes about through avoidance. It was hidden in plain sight. So not only do you have the experience but you also see that you've co-conspired to avoid the very moment that you're in now. The crisis of the continuity is an opening of the intelligence.
Wow.
Was that with two W's, that wow? Or did... Hey, Tobin, how you doing out there?